1/3 of the population of the world has been infected, the highest number of deaths in history from infectious diseases. About 10 million new cases every year all over the world. Over 1,500,000 people die by this disease, tuberculosis. Tuberculosis has been with us throughout human history. It is still threatening our lives. How much do you know about tuberculosis? Tuberculosis is a very serious and dangerous disease because it is highly contagious and it spreads easily. South Korea doesn't have a high number of cases compared to other countries that have a high risk for tuberculosis, but South Korea has the highest risk among OECD countries. The foreign workers' infection rate is pretty high among the total tuberculosis patients in South Korea. By increasing the number of long-stay foreigners, the number of new cases are steady too. And if we counted the foreign patients who weren't reported, there would be a higher number of tuberculosis patients. That's why it's important to learn about tuberculosis so we can prevent infection and handle it properly. Then, let's see what tuberculosis is. Tuberculosis is a respiratory infection by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Tuberculosis bacteria is spread through the air from one person to another. However, not everyone that is infected gets the tuberculosis bacteria. Also, it's not transmitted through dishes, blankets, or other things that the tuberculosis patients have used. Actually, 25 to 30% of people who contact someone with contagious tuberculosis are infected, and 10% of them become tuberculosis patients. If you have a strong immunity, it doesn't lead to the disease, even though you are infected. We call this state latent tuberculosis. It means you have tuberculosis bacteria in your body, but it doesn't make you sick. But you have the bacteria, so it can turn into active tuberculosis at any time. And over 60% of the world's tuberculosis occurs in Asia. So we expect the rate of latent tuberculosis is high too. Based on this fact, it's concerning that you could be in high risk and get more chances to be infected by tuberculosis because of your hard, long working hours and living in a poor environment. So it's important to know about tuberculosis symptoms and check yourself in advance. Let's see what the symptoms are. The general symptoms are coughing, phlegm, fever, sweat, weight loss, tiredness, loss of appetite, etc. These symptoms are very similar to the common cold, so it's hard to recognize if you are infected. If your coughing lasts longer than 2 weeks, you should visit a hospital or community health center nearby and get a tuberculosis test. The test includes a chest X-ray and mycobacterium examination. Tuberculosis can occur in any part of our body, but lung tuberculosis is the most common. There's also extrapulmonary tuberculosis, which includes lymph nodes, intestine, and spine. Tuberculosis is not defeated naturally like the common cold, so you should get treatment steadily, including taking medicine. Even though you have no symptoms, we recommend you get a regular checkup for tuberculosis once a year. If you go to a community health center, work-in clinic, or any hospital nearby, you can get a test and treatment for a low cost. Then how can treat tuberculosis? Tuberculosis is curable if it's found early and you take medications steadily. Normally, after 2 weeks of treatments at the hospital, the infectivity is gone and you will be completely cured if you take medications properly for about 6 months. But if you stop taking medications on your own, you will develop resistance to the medications and the treatments won't work. After taking medications for 2 weeks, most of the symptoms get better and the infectivity goes down, so you can work or have your daily life. However, if you don't take your medicine exactly as prescribed by your doctor after you are back home from the hospital, or if you stop any treatments in the beginning, your treatments will fail, and tuberculosis bacteria becomes resistant to the medication. Then you have to take different medicines and start the treatments over. It takes over 2 years, and even though you get the treatments, it could lead to death in the worst case. But many foreign workers don't take proper measures even though they know that they are infected. This is because of worries about the cost of treatments and getting fired. Normally, you can get free treatments at specialized tuberculosis hospitals. Masan National Tuberculosis Hospital, Mokpo National Hospital, Seoul Seobuk Hospital, or at any community health centers. You can visit our hospitals as well, but there might be some expenses. If any foreign workers who have tuberculosis reject the treatments, they will be labeled as non-conforming patients and can be deported. The Korean National Tuberculosis Association was established in 1953. It works for South Korea and the world to eliminate tuberculosis through actions such as regular tuberculosis checkups, Mycobacterium tuberculosis tests, and tuberculosis treatments. This association also works for supporting socially disadvantaged classes. Especially, it supports foreign patients who stay in Korea by running a shelter for foreign tuberculosis patients and helping treatments and rehabilitation. The staff visit the area where many foreign workers live by mobile checkup vehicles on holidays for tuberculosis checks and managing their health. Also, the Korean National Tuberculosis Association is running Lucky Cross clinics at 5 different locations in Korea. Foreigners can have clear and quick service for tuberculosis prevention and pre-employment checkups to change status or extension of stay period at the locations. Extra slide 4, the roles of the Lucky Cross clinics. So if any of your foreign friends need help for tuberculosis, please contact the Korean National Tuberculosis Association. Contact us. Tuberculosis is curable, and you can keep working with proper treatment. If you are fired because you get tuberculosis, you can apply for an unfair dismissal remedy application via each local labor relations board. However, the most important thing is preventing tuberculosis. What should we do to prevent it? To avoid getting tuberculosis, you need enough sleep and a balanced diet and regular exercise to build your strong immune system. Because it occurs when your immune system is weak. Also, it's helpful to open windows often to circulate fresh air, and cover your mouth with your sleeve or handkerchief when you sneeze in the public area. If you follow the rules above, you can prevent tuberculosis. Also, even if you have tuberculosis, it's curable by early treatment and taking medicine properly. If you learn more about tuberculosis and follow the rules for prevention, you can continue your healthy life in Korea as you desire. The world we live in together, Tuberculosis-Free Korea. We support your healthy life in Korea to be free from tuberculosis.